Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with Commander Class Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Rodimus Prime. Thank you for watching this video or any of my other videos that you may have run across, which I hope is all of them. Each of you does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very much for watching. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews, and don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified when my new content becomes available. With all that said, let's get into it. And first of all, as we always do here on Digital Caveman Presents, let's take a quick look at the packaging. I say quick, sometimes it's not so quick, but we shall see how quick I can be. Fast as fast can be. And as you notice, no window to show off the figure at all. Part of Hasbro's new reduce the plastic packaging policy. I guess you can call it a policy. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, it leaves much more room for that great, wonderful, lovely kingdom artwork that we have become accustomed to. Rodimus in his robot mode, and then in his space RV mode, Rodimus Prime, and then again in Cybertronian. Transformers, War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom, 8 and up. Hasbro, Transformers, Generations, and Takara Tomy. On this side of the box, the artwork wraps around, as we are used to, and then we have the arc. So nothing really new here except for the Rodimus Prime parts. Then Commander Class and all these other languages that I don't speak. On the other side, the lovely Kingdom poster artwork type stuff. Authentic. Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron. And then at the top, just more of the artwork. On the top of the box, an Autobot logo. Some golden disc scribblings. Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy WFCK29. Is the number of Rodimus on the bottom of the box. Small print, fine print, legalese print. All there and there and there and there. Symbols I'm not going to learn. A barcode. Authentic. And some recycled junk. Now let's take a look at the back of the box. Kind of hard to fit it all in frame here, but I'm going to try. I don't know why my camera's crookedy looking, but anyway, there, maybe that fix it. Transformers More Than Meets the Eye. Some of the accessories he comes with. Rodimus product shots all the way around there. Transforms from here to here in 34 steps, and from here to here in 8 steps. Some more small fine print, legalese print, that S thing, and don't stick things in your pie hole that don't belong there in English, German, French. So if you have any of these kinds of pie holes, don't stick things in it that don't belong. And of course, Hasbro. Nice, the weapons platform. Alrighty, my friends, that completes our look at the outside of the packaging. Now, my friends, let's take a look at Rodimus Prime in his alt mode and his accessories and various pack-ins from the packaging. There was no picture insert, so one less thing to have to cover. And of course, we have the Kingdom card, which is another Dinobot. Exactly the same Dinobot card that I've got about 45 times, it seems like. So, the other inclusion of course, is the instructions, which is what we have come to expect with Kingdom, the nice colors, and the great illustrations that make it easy to transform, usually. As far as other accessories, these two smoke effects which attach to his exhaust pipes. Three of these fire blast effects, at least that's what I call them, is fire. And this bigger one, a medium-sized one, I guess. And these two, and the releasing the matrix effect. You got the touch. Then we have his classic rifle, if I can hold it and not drop it. Nice details, all done in black plastic, it seems. And it does fold over as such, I'm assuming for storage. Then he has this sword, which has this, if I can get it, has this tab that comes out for storage and just slides back in there. And that does it for the accessories. Now let's take a look at the Space Winnebago. Nice paint where it is applied. A premium finish, as it should be on a Commander class. Nice blue transparent window, but unfortunately it shows off robot bits and bobs in there. Nice paint there and tampo of Autobot logo. The headlights are painted. And we've got this highlights here. Silver on the exhaust pipes, which I wish it wasn't open right there. There could have been a little flap or something that closed down over that, or this whole piece could have connected and been a flap. I don't know. Something else could have been done there to make it a little more attractive. And then the nice flame paint job there. And on the back, it probably could have done with some paint on the wheels, but it is what it is. Now, the back does open up and it has these nice metal rods for opening and closing. Mine doesn't always like to close all the way. You have to kind of mash these plastic bits that hold the rods. You have to kind of mash them down, pull them down a little bit rather. So that is an issue. And this does all open up. Now the gun is in there. I don't really have it attached good. I didn't put the peg in the bottom, but it will not pull out in trailer mode. So there is that. one of the other issues, which if you work with it a little bit, you can get it not to be too bad, but the trailer where it closes up on the top, it can gap when this piece is in place. Now I've noticed when this piece is not in place that it will close up fine. So I don't know if there's an issue with this being just a tad bit too wide for the rest of the trailer, but as you can see, there is a little bit of a gap, and Patriot Prime did say that he put some super glue on the edges of the tabs, let it dry, and then close it up, and it held. So I don't know if I'm going to do that, because if I use the trailer in my display, it's going to be opened up in gun platform mode, which we will get to, don't worry. And you can open that up for a little storage compartment. And as far as storage for other things, this piece right here slides out. If I can get it to do it, of course I can't because I'm on camera now. There it goes. This piece slides out and you can store bits and bobs in there also, so that you don't have to throw them in the trailer, I guess. So there is that. He does roll, and I don't know if you can really tell it on camera here, but this wheel is jacked up. It does not roll. In fact, this one doesn't even want to roll now. I think something is out of place now. But generally the front tires and the back tires are what carry it, and these middle tires just don't roll while he's connected up. So yeah, as a matter of fact, I can see something is discombobulated right there, and it's the tire. There we go. Now the tire's back out there. And as you can see, the front tire and the back tire roll. And that middle tire is just lifted up off the ground. Now, if you mash it down a little bit, right here, you can get it to go. But I think what it is, when you put him in there, this is not... It angles the front part of it a bit when you put it in here. And so... But... I suppose it is what it is. Overall, I would say, you know, not really bad negatives on the part of Hasbro. Just some things that could have done with a little bit of tweaking. Not to be confused with twerking, because we don't want any Transformer twerking going on. And then I guess we need to look at the bottom. A little bit of robot bits and beeps and boops on the front undercarriage, but pretty smooth on the trailer part. And my friends, I do believe that covers instructions card, accessories, and a look at this fabulous vehicle mode. And now it's time for one of my favorite segments, comparisons. Alt mode comparisons in this case. And first of all, we're going to compare him with his last iteration, or at least the last iteration that I have, which is Power of the Prime's Leader Class Evolution Rodimus Prime. And as you can see, there is a great bit of difference in the size of these two. This one being the new Commander class, and this one being the old Leader class. Also, he does have a bit of visible fist syndrome, and he is a big old parts former, the Power of the Primes one, at least into the Rodimus mode. Into his Hot Rod mode, not quite so much. And there we can kind of see them both. And of course, you know, this one is lacking a lot of stuff that is on this one. Again, part of it is because this is the commander class and this is the old leader class. But, you know, he doesn't have any opening compartments. There's a big gap right in there where the car fits in to the trailer. And, you know, it's all stickers on this one except for on the hood here with the fire paint and the Autobot Tampo. Whereas this one is no decals at all. So that's a good thing in my opinion. And let's get that one out of there. And here we have, with me as always, Titans Returns Legends class Bumblebee. And as you can see, Rodimus is a great deal bigger. But that's okay because he's supposed to be. And let's take a look at him with the Amazon exclusive alternate universe or dead Optimus Prime. I think that scales up rather well. And they're just a bit too long for them to both fit, so let me adjust the camera just a little bit. There we go. And let's line the trailers up back to back. Push them forward a little bit. And as you can see, Rodimus does extend a little longer than Optimus. But again, he's Commander class and he's Leader class. And this is the new Leader class from Earthrise. War for Cybertron size. And now let's take a look at the Voyager class 86 Hot Rod. And as you can see, he does do a bit of growing once he gets the Matrix. Once Hot Rod gets the Matrix, that is. Because you can even see in the car parts, you know, it's much smaller than this. But then again, he's a race car and he pulls a space RV. Alright, let's see who's next up. Kingdom Leader class Ultra Magnus. His good buddy who he always asks, hey, what would Optimus Prime do? And again, there you can see there's quite a bit of difference. They're both really, really long dudes. And again, with the back ends lined up, Rodimus does just barely beat out Ultra Magnus. Now, next up, let's take a look at comparing Rodimus with his arch enemy, Galvatron. So I do like the size differences there. And just to say we did it, our next comparison will be with Commander class Skylinks. with his crooked tail fin. And we will do this kind of backwards because Skylinks is so much taller. And Rodimus is just a bit longer in length than Skylinks is. And that's fine. And we'll pull Skylinks out of there. Now, another thing about this Rodimus is he does have a separate vehicle mode as just the truck portion. So we'll run through real quick. Again, there he is with Power of the Primes, Evolution, Rodimus Prime, oopsies, and here he is with Leader Class Optimus Prime without the trailer. And here is Titans Returns Legends Class Bumblebee. I keep bumping stuff, sorry guys. And Kingdom Leader Class Ultra Magnus. Kingdom Leader Class Galvatron. And last but definitely not least, Commander Class Skylinks. And of course, Commander Class Skylinks also does separate into two parts, but I'm not going to do that for this review. All right, my friends, I think that does it for alt mode comparisons. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the comedy portion of our program where I attempt to transform Commander Class Rodimus Prime into his robot mode. And the first thing you really have to do is to separate the trailer, camper, whatever you want to call it, from the main vehicle. And as you can see, there is a slot right here. And there's a, let me get it on camera, spring-loaded tab right here that holds it in place. And these are spring-loaded also to accommodate when you are inserting the vehicle. Now, as far as transformation for the trailer goes, you just open it up like that. Then this front part, there's a tab for the gun right here for this main cannon that tabs it in place. And there is storage right here when it's in camper mode, trailer mode, whatever you want to call it. And you just open that all the way up as far as it'll go. And on the back side, you just open it up and then you flip that down. And then you can remove these weapons. There is storage in here. Not everything fits. That's just the way it goes. And then this is already tabbed into place, but we can untab it real quickly. And there's the tab, which does fold up. And then there's, can't see it on the thing, there's a hole right there, and I'm sure you could probably stick it in another one if you wanted to. This part, just fold that right in. And let's fold that tab back out. And as you can see, it just pegs, pull the peg out, not the tab. And as you can see, maybe you can see it on there, it just works right in there. Then you can lift the cannon up. Let me get a little more space in there. And you fold out these two shield doodads. And of course this will turn on that peg. And it also turns up here. And you can flip the handles up. And there we have his little, Rodimus's little base. And let's slide that out of the way. And now let's see if I can remember how we transform this one. I want to say you start with untabbing the fin. No, you start with these two panels right here, one on either side. You can get your thumb in there, thumbnail. Just flip that straight up, and same thing on this side. Then that comes right up, and you untab the canopy also. Then I think you are free to undo the arms on either side, both sides, rather, and they will just kind of, you got to untab that too, I guess. There we go. And they just kind of slide out like that. Then these two pieces will flip in. And then we'll pull that down. Let's go ahead and turn his head around so he's facing forward. And I want to think, I think that the directions said you straighten the arms back up this way. And then what I remember is, while this is up like that, you go ahead and twist this part around, but don't twist it off like that. But if you do, it just slides right back on there, no big deal. Then here for the arms, you want to, that black piece goes on the inside there and just kind of clips in, and then this piece, there's a tab and a slot, And you get those connected up. And same thing over on this side. If I can get it to do it. There we go. And then you see there's a tabby hole right here and a pinchy thing right here. And you pull the canopy up. And then that is supposed to clip right in there. If I can get it to. Let's see. There we go. Got that clipped in. Now for the arms, you flip that down, then turn it to the inside. Then there's a hinge right here. That is not easy to operate, but you flip that hinge up and all the way there. Then the exhaust pipes you flip around, and then there's a tab here and a slot here that you work that hinge again, close up, and then there is a tab and a slot on that one. And there we go. That arm is done. Then we're going to repeat the same process over on this side. Again, tab and slot. And then there's the tab and there's the slot right there, the tab and slot there. And this piece fits right in this hole right here. So and there we go. And that's the upper body almost taken care of. Let's take this part, and you want to spin it around on this hinge right here. And then it will close right up on his back. And let's see, there we go. Get it under those legs because I don't have those opened up yet. And there is little person Rodimus Prime. So you want to separate the legs. There's a tab right here, and then the slot's right there. So once you get the legs separated, just spread them out a little bit, and then you'll want to untab this. There's the tab right there, and then the slot's down in there. You can't really see it, but open that up. Then you want to straighten his leg up, and it's on a double hinge here, as you can see. And then you straighten all that up. Then what you want to do is take this part, and this is a kind of a scary part, especially if you forget to do what I just forgot to do. This wheel, just take this whole wheel and push it in until you hear it snap. But still, there's still not a lot of clearance there, so you're going to have to bend this out just a tad, not tab, to get it, the wheel to go into this slot here, which is this slot right here. And once you get that done, you can close this up, and there's a slot right here, and there's a tab right here, and a kind of a peggy thing here that slides behind here. And you just kind of get it, push it till you get it on there. And I think that might have got it. Then you can open this foot up. There's that. And then we will do the same thing over here on the other side. Untab from the wheel. Then we want to straighten the leg out on that double hinge. Might be a triple hinge. Push the tire in. Pull this out just a tad to give the tire enough clearance to go into that hole. Then you got the peg and the slot, and don't forget that little tabby thing right there. And you'll hear it click into place. I don't know if you can hear it over the mic, but it will. And then of course I did forget to spin the legs around, so we'll have to untab that backpack just a bit. And I don't know, something don't look quite right. I think that's supposed to tab in there. Yes, there is a little tab right in there. I don't know if you can see it. And a little slot for it. Let's see if I can. Let's unclip this. Because of course I messed it up. Because I was filming it. Let's untab that and see if we can't get this piece into the correct position. There we go. That's got it this time, I think. And then we'll tab this back into place. And then we'll put this back into place. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, without an over amount of difficulty. Rodimus Prime transformed into his robot mode. And now let's take a look at robot mode and transformed mode for the trailer. And let's set Rodimus off to the side and we'll take a quick look at the transformed trailer or Winnebago or whatever you want to call it. Camper. It's not really, it's just a trailer. Because he just hauls stuff on the inside of it. And as you can see, you know, here we have the gun on the turret to make all of this the battle platform. It goes up. It goes down. It goes round and round. So, nice articulation for the cannon. And of course it can lean forward and back on this. So that's nice. And then these shield parts, you can fold them in, you can fold them back, or let them stick out like they're supposed to. And then again, the gun will swivel on where it pegs in. But unfortunately, there's no way for it to actually roll out. So, but you can unpeg. I'll say you can. There we go. You can unpeg. You can fold the peg in and use it outside of the trailer also. Oh, and of course the handles will go all the way around. I do think it has, you know, silver. It's got some black here at the ends that make it look like it has been fired. Other than that, it looks like it's all molded in solid colors. Which is fine. It's fitting for this. It does you know, this silver paint is really the only paint on it, and maybe this black here at the ends. And, you know, that's all this needs. That's it. Now, as far as the trailer, you know, you've got this, you've got this. All this is molded in colors. No paint applications, it doesn't seem like. So, alright, that does it for the trailer, battle platform, whatever you want to call it. Let's bring Rodimus back in and we can take a look at old Rodimus Prime here. Again, you know, this part of the figure, well, the figure itself, you know, it does seem to have quite a bit of paint apps, and they're very well where they are. Here on the legs, here on the forearms, the chest, the face and the eyes, the forehead, the top of the shoulders here, the big huge fin. I mean, the paint on this guy is fantastic. Looks like there's some little paint right here. So, and those eyes really stand out, even though they're under the helmet and hooded. They stand out, and there is no light pip. So that's all paint you're seeing there. Very, very well done figure. The face, it does look like Hot Rod, only older, which is what it's supposed to look like. So I think an excellent job has been done on this figure overall. Let's talk about articulation. Can he look up? He can look up that far if you tilt the neck back. Look forward, he can look forward, straight ahead, and that's about it. Rotation, it will go all the way around. It is a little tight, and it looks like it's on a ball joint. So, but it will go all the way around, so that's cool. Arms. Yeah. You get that much range out of it, and they will go all the way around. The fin does get in the way, but if the fin wasn't in the way, you would be able to get a full 360 degrees out of those arms. And he does have a double jointed elbow, which gives you that much. And he does have swivel at the elbow. The pipe here, they kind of get in the way for him to get the full 360, but if you were to move those out of the way, you get the full 360. On the hands, he does have wrist rotation for full 360, and they will go in and out, but no up and down. He does have fingers. The index finger is separate from the rest of them. All the rest of the fingers are together, and there is no articulation at the thumb. He does have a 360 degree waist rotation. The legs, even when you move the skirts up, or the side pieces here, I guess you can call that the skirt, whatever. You only get this much range of motion there. As far as forward, I mean, that is great forward. He could kick a football 5 miles. Put that back down. As far as back goes, that's it. That's all you get. He does have rotation at the upper, well, I guess that's at the hip, not really at the upper thigh, because there's no cut here. It's all right here on this ball and hinge. At least I think it's a ball. No, maybe not. So you do get that. He does have double jointed knee, but because of the backpack, you only get that much range out of it. Well, not just the backpack, but this part right here kind of gets in the way too. But still, that is a lot of range of motion for this guy. The toes can go down. The ankle really doesn't. The ankle does tilt forward though, so that's good. And of course, you get this much tilt out of it. Now, another thing about old Rodimus Prime here that a lot of people were concerned about, his chest does open, and he does have a matrix, and it is removable so that it can light the darkest hour. And that just closes back up. And as far as his weapons go, his gun does fold up like this for storage, but unfolds easily. And if you can get his fingers to open up, it just pegs right in there as if he didn't even have movable fingers. And let's see. It's not quite right, but he can hold both handles there. And as far as the sword goes, because of the way that it is built, you do have to open his hand because it has this pommel on the end so that other Transformers can't use it. Maybe Optimus Prime, he has opening hands, he might be able to use it. But you open his hand up, you just kind of push it in there, and then close his fingers around it. And then he has this sword that I don't ever remember Rodimus using a sword, but he has it nonetheless. Perhaps in Headmasters or something he used it. I don't know. Of course, in Headmasters he wasn't Rodimus Prime, was he? He was back to being Hot Rod. I don't know. I've never watched the Japanese series, so I'm not overly familiar with what goes on in those series. So he can do that. Also, he does have some storage in robot mode that you can fold the gun back up and it'll store on his back, or out of the way, take the sword out of his hand, and he's gonna fall down. The sword does have a peg in it. You just have to swing it out, and it can also peg into this hole on his back. So there's that. And of course, let's put him on the battle platform. If I can get the gun back on there. So there's no real pegs for his feet or anything. He just stands up there. Damn it, man. Stay together. And you can adjust the handle so that it fits whatever pose he's standing in. And we'll adjust the camera just a bit there so you can see the full effect of Rodimus firing the cannon on his battle platform, and of course the blast effects do fit in there, so that's pretty cool too. But that, my friends, covers robot mode. And now, my friends, it is time for robot mode comparisons. And we will start off with the older style leader class Power the Prime's Evolution Rodimus Prime. I think I got him slightly mistransformed there. Let's swing that down and make him right. There we go. That's better. And as you can see, there is a bit of height difference and a little bit of bulk difference in these guys. Whereas in vehicle mode, the commander class was larger than the leader class. In this case, without the bulk of the trailer, the robot is much smaller than the old school leader class. However, this is also another robot combined with the trailer to give him this much size. And as you can see, this figure looks a whole lot better. I mean, yes, he's smaller. Yes, he does fit in with the War for Cybertron, the new scale, which is good. I was a little not pleased with the smaller scale at first, but when I saw how everything really scales in together with the War for Cybertron series, I appreciate the smaller scale more. I do wish the price had been scaled down with the size a little bit, but you know, that's a different discussion altogether. Better paint apps on the Kingdom Commander class than the Power to Prime's leader class, but that's really pretty much how the whole series has gone, in my opinion. The smaller one is more detailed and it just looks better, especially when we go back to when you look at the truck modes, when this one is real gappy and you can see his hands, and this one he just feels more finished. All the way around. Robot mode, truck mode. So, but there's the comparison between these two. Commander class is much better, in my opinion. Your opinion may vary, and if it does, that's okay. Right. Let's see. Who should we bring in next? Let's go ahead and bring in Titans Returns Legends class Bumblebee. And that's how they scale up. I feel like that's pretty good, because the Netflix Bumblebee, he's slightly taller, but not by a whole lot than this Legends class. So there's that. Now let's take a look at the 86 line Voyager class Hot Rod. And I do think that that size differential is appropriate. And let's bring in leader class Netflix Optimus Prime. So I think that's a good scale there. They're pretty much the same height. Rodimus, he gets a little height edge because of his fin in the back, but From head to toe, they are approximately the same size. Prime's antennas may give him a bit of a height advantage. And next up, Leader Class Kingdom Ultra Magnus. And Ultra Magnus is slightly taller. Well, he's a good bit taller. Which he should be, because he's supposed to be taller than Rodimus. Rodimus always looking up to Ultra Magnus to tell him what Optimus Prime would do. And next up, we will bring in Rodimus's arch enemy, Galvatron. Kingdom Galvatron. As you can see, Galvatron's about a head taller than Rodimus, and he definitely is wider through the chest, and he has thicker legs. But I think that's appropriate. And last but not least, let's compare him up with another commander class. And here is Commander Class Skylinks. If I can get him in here without bumping everything. Oh, like that, and knocking over and killing his leader. And there's how they size up. Let me adjust the camera just a bit. So, because Skylinks is a combined mode with both of his parts, he's much larger than Rodimus. But even in their alt modes, there was quite a bit of difference. And that, my friends, does it for robot mode comparisons. And for final thoughts on the War for Cybertron trilogy, Kingdom Commander Class, Rodimus Prime. I do believe, for what he comes with, it's a good value at the $80 retail. I don't know if I would pay more than that for this. Like a lot of people, I'm not going to have a big use for this part. Maybe the trailer. If I can work it in my display, I will use the entire thing as the battle platform. If not, then it'll be stored with other Transformers things that I do not currently have room for my display. The paint jobs are nice. I do like what they did with the trailer. It's a lovely piece, except for the top gap piece, where the top doesn't quite join together. I may try to do a fix on that. I may not. It just depends on what I do with it. It's not going to be displayed in trailer mode, so I may not even worry about that. If it's something that bothers you, then, do some research on it and fix it up like you like it. Straighten that green screen up a little bit. He does come with his classic rifle. He does come with quite a few blast effects. The paint job is excellent on this guy. He comes with a sword that I don't know where he ever used it. But, it's all good. I like this figure. I don't think it was overpriced for what you get. I would hope for people that do think it's overpriced at the commander level that maybe they will re-release just this figure without the trailer. And something that I want to see, and while I'm still on video, let's see if Prime can hold the sword. Oh, Optimus holds the sword. That's pretty cool. But as I was saying, maybe at some point they will offer just this figure at probably the leader class price point. I wouldn't imagine they would go lower than that with it, because he's pretty much the current leader size in just the robot mode. And he does transform into a complete vehicle without the battle platform or trailer or camper or whatever you want to call it. So, you know, if y'all don't want to pay $80 with the trailer, maybe later on they will offer him perhaps not quite as detailed paint at the leader class price point. Under, you know, they're going, what is the next series? Is Legends? Is it? I'm not sure. But that's what it sounds like, where they're going to be reissuing stuff and maybe, you know, adding a few figures that we haven't gotten from G1. I'm not sure what that's all going to be about. We'll see. But that does it for the review. I hope you liked it. I did. I thoroughly enjoyed this guy, and I will say that during the first time that I transformed him with the instructions, I won't say the instructions were bad. You know, I just get a little fuzzy using the instructions. Sometimes they're not quite as clear to me as they should be, but that's not to say they're not clear and easy to follow. That just may be me. But once I got it figured out, I really enjoyed the transformation on this guy. It's not 1, 2, 3 simple, but it's not overly complicated either. It's about, in my opinion, it's about midways. So, but that does it for the review again. I do hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching this video, or any of my other videos that you may have watched, which I hope is all of them. Each view does count, and I do really, really, really appreciate each and every single view that I get. Thank you, and thank you for watching. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. Well, that's a wrap, folks. I'll see ya next time.